Hi, I'm Luna. Most people know me as the mom who never misses a school event and always brings the best cookies to the PTA meetings. I thought I had it all figured out: great kids, stable marriage, and a solid plan for our future. Funny how life throws you curveballs when you least expect them. My daughter Emily just turned 16 last month. She's this amazing girl who's been dreaming about medical school since she was 10. Then there's my 14-year-old son, Jason, our family's computer genius who can code things I can't even pronounce. We've been saving for their college funds since they were babies. Well, at least that's what I thought. I was sitting at our kitchen table, sorting through financial aid forms for Emily's early college applications, when my stomach dropped. The account numbers didn't match up. Actually, there were no accounts to match. Hey, what's going on with the kids' college accounts? These statements show zero balance. Derek, my husband of 18 years, barely looked up from his phone. Oh, the market's been crazy lately. You know how investments go. The market? Derek, these accounts are completely empty. Not down, not reduced empty. He shifted in his chair, that familiar tell when he's hiding something. Look, it's complicated. We can discuss this later. No, we're discussing it now. Where is our children's money? Would you calm down? I've got it under control. I'm making some strategic moves. That's when I remembered his family's flashy new restaurant downtown. The one his sister Maria couldn't stop bragging about at last week's barbecue. The pieces started falling into pieces. The restaurant. You put their college money into your family's restaurant, didn't you? It's a solid investment. Maria and Dad found this perfect location. Perfect location? Our kid's future was the investment. Emily's been talking about Johns Hopkins since middle school. Jason's already looking at MIT. They can go to state school. Lots of kids do. I grabbed my laptop and pulled up the bank records. Transfer after transfer to Martinez Family Ventures over the past 3 months. Every penny we'd saved for 16 years, gone. Does your precious family know this is our children's college money? It's still their future. The restaurant will make twice that in no time. Maria has run successful businesses before. You mean the yoga studio that closed in 6 months? Or the juice bar that never even opened? The front door opened, and Emily walked in with her SAT prep books. Her face lit up like always. Mom, you won't believe what happened in study group today. This guy actually thought... Not now, honey. Derek and I are having an important discussion. She looked between us, her smile fading. Is everything okay? Everything's fine, Derek said quickly. Your mom's just worried about nothing. I watched my daughter head upstairs, clutching those test prep books she'd bought with her own babysitting money. Books for a future her father had just gambled away on his family's latest scheme. Nothing? You call stealing our children's future nothing? This conversation isn't over, Derek. Not by a long shot. The next morning, I called our family accountant, Tom, before Derek even woke up. I need you to look into something for me. Off the record. Sure. What's going on? I need a complete trace of all transfers from our joint accounts and the kids' college funds over the last 6 months. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. You better come to my office, now. In Tom's office, spreadsheets covered his desk. Luna, this isn't just a few transfers. They systematically emptied those accounts through multiple small transactions. Classic way to hide money movement. How much exactly? Nearly $180,000. All went to Martinez Family Ventures or personal accounts belonging to Maria and their father. My hands shook as I looked at the paperwork. I need copies of everything. Walking into the restaurant that afternoon, I found Maria ordering staff around like she owned the place. Well, technically she did, with my kids' money. Well, if it isn't my favorite sister-in-law, come to see our family's legacy in action? Cut the act, Maria. I know what you did. What we did was save your husband from being the family failure. Poor Derek, always too scared to take risks. Until now. You manipulated him into stealing from his own children? Please. He jumped at the chance to finally prove himself to Dad. You've held him back for years with your boring, safe little plans. Those boring plans were for our children's education. They can get loans like everyone else, This is business, Luna. Family business. My phone buzzed. Emily's school. Perfect timing. Mrs. Martinez, we need to discuss Emily's application status. Her financial aid forms are incomplete. I stepped away from Maria's smug face. Yes, we're having some complications with the college fund. Well, the early admission deadline is in 3 weeks. Without proof of funds or aid qualification, we can't process her application. I watched Maria through the window, showing off the brand new kitchen equipment to some vendors. Equipment bought with my daughter's dreams. Emily's worked so hard for this. She has a 4.2 GPA, perfect test scores. I understand, but without financial documentation. That evening, I found Emily at her desk, surrounded by scholarship applications. These might help with tuition. I know something's wrong with the college fund, Mom. I heard you and Dad fighting. I hugged her tight, my brilliant, resourceful girl. We'll figure this out, honey. I promise. My phone lit up with a text from Tom. Found something else. Maria's previous businesses. There's a pattern of investor fraud. Call me. I looked at my daughter's hopeful face, then at the text. Time to take off the gloves. At my best friend Sarah's law office, the evidence spread across her desk like a twisted family album. These bank statements alone are enough for criminal charges, Sarah explained. But there's more. Look at these health inspection reports I pulled. 3 violations in 2 months? They just opened. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Sarah nodded grimly. Undisclosed renovation work, improper food storage, blocked fire exits. They're one bad inspection away from being shut down. My phone buzzed with a message from my father-in-law. Family dinner tonight. Non-negotiable, Robert demanded. The restaurant was empty when we arrived, except for the family. Emily and Jason sat uncomfortably while Robert paced around the fancy new tables. You're tearing this family apart with your accusations, Luna, Robert shouted. Me? I fired back. You helped Derek steal from his own children. Robert slammed his hand on the table. It's called investing in their inheritance. This restaurant is their legacy. Their legacy was supposed to be an education, I countered. Emily stood up suddenly. What's going on? What inheritance? Your mom's overreacting about some temporary financial adjustments? Derek tried to explain. Temporary? I cut in. You emptied their entire college fund? Our college money is gone? Jason dropped his phone in shock. Robert barked, Not gone! Invested! In something real, not some overpriced university scam. Dad used our college money for the restaurant? Emily asked, her voice cracking. Is that why my application got flagged for incomplete financial records? Princess, listen. Derek reached for her hand. Emily pulled away. Don't touch me. I worked my butt off for 4 years. Perfect grades, test scores, volunteering. You can still go to college, Maria interjected smugly. Just somewhere more affordable. Like you'd know anything about college, Jason snapped. Mom told us about your failed businesses. Watch your mouth, young man, Robert warned. Jason stood his ground. Or what? You'll steal my allowance too? A loud crash from the kitchen interrupted the argument. That's the second leak this week, a cook shouted. And the freezer's acting up again. Maria rushed to the kitchen, slipping on the wet floor from the burst pipe. This is fine! Everything's under control. Like the rat problem's under control? The cook challenged. Health inspector's gonna love that. Emily grabbed her coat. I can't believe you did this to us, Dad. To Mom. For them. Emily, wait, Derek called desperately. Let her go, I said firmly. You've done enough. Jason followed his sister without a backward glance. See what you've started? Robert growled at me. I stood my ground. No, you all did this. Every secret meeting, every transfer, every lie. But guess what? The health department's doing a surprise inspection tomorrow. Wonder how that happened. What did you do? Derek asked, his face going pale. I grabbed my purse and headed for the door. Me? Nothing. But your cut-rate contractors? They talk. A lot. Especially about all the corners you cut to open early. I left them standing there, watching their precious legacy crumble around them. The health inspector's report hit them like a tornado. I sat in Sarah's office watching the aftermath unfold through text messages and phone calls. Restaurants shut down indefinitely, Sarah reported, reviewing the official notice. 7 major violations. They'd need at least $50,000 in repairs to even consider reopening. My phone lit up with Maria's name. Your fault! You vindictive witch! You ruined everything! No, your incompetence did that. How's Dad taking the news? He's disowning Derek. Says he should have known better than to trust a failure. We're losing everything. Funny, that's exactly what you did to my kids. In the courthouse next week, Derek wouldn't even look at me. The judge reviewed our case files with growing disgust. Mr. Martinez, you illegally transferred funds designated for your children's education without co-owner consent. The court orders you to repay $180,000 plus 40% penalty for damages. I don't have that kind of money, Derek protested weakly. Then you better find it. I'm also awarding Mrs. Martinez full custody of both children, with supervised visitation only. At home that evening, Emily burst through the door waving an envelope. Mom! Mom! Open it! The Johns Hopkins logo gleamed in the corner. Jason peered over my shoulder as I read. Full academic scholarship? Emily, you did it. They loved my essay about perseverance through family challenges. Guess something good came from all this. Now we just need to get Jason into MIT, I smiled at my son. Actually, Jason pulled out his laptop. Remember those coding competitions I've been winning? The prize money's been adding up. I've already got half my first year covered. The doorbell rang. Derek stood there looking desperate. Please, just let me explain to them. We're done with your explanations, Emily called from behind me. Princess, please. Don't call me that. A real father doesn't steal his children's future. Jason? Derek tried. Sorry, too busy counting my competition money. You know, actually earning it instead of stealing it. I started to close the door. The kids have homework, Derek. Your supervised visit is Saturday. Luna, wait. Maria and Dad won't even take my calls. I've lost everything. No, you threw it away. There's a difference. 6 months later, I watched Emily pack for college while Jason tinkered with his latest robotics project. My phone buzzed with a court notification. Derek's seized assets had finally sold. The kids' college funds would be fully restored. Mom? Emily paused her packing. Thanks for fighting for us. That's what real family does, Jason chimed in without looking up from his robot. I hugged them both, these amazing kids who'd grown stronger through the storm. No, thank you for showing me what real strength looks like. Now, who's up for pizza? No Martinez family restaurant, though. I hear they're permanently closed. The kids laughed, and just like that, we were moving forward, stronger than ever. What would you do if you discovered that your spouse secretly emptied your children's college funds to help their own family? Would you handle it legally like Luna did? Or would you choose a different approach to get justice? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might help others facing similar situations. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more real-life drama and revenge stories. Each one explores different ways people handle betrayal and stand up for their families. Remember, sometimes the greatest act of love for your children is having the courage to fight for their future. What would you fight for?